The Mughal Empire, once a beacon of power and splendor, waned by the 18th century. Its authority, once absolute, crumbled under its own weight. Ambitious governors, sensing weakness, carved out their own domains. The emperor, a ruler in name only, presided over a fractured realm. This fragmentation, a harbinger of chaos, set the stage for the empire's eventual collapse. Today, India faces its own echoes of this bygone era. While the nation has embraced democracy, the specter of fragmentation still looms. Regional parties, wielding significant influence, dictate the course of national politics. Coalition governments, often fragile and prone to instability, have become the norm. The central government, though democratically elected, grapples with the challenges of governing a nation of diverse aspirations and competing interests. This fragmentation, both in the twilight of the Mughals and in contemporary India, presents a complex paradox. It speaks to the enduring pull of regional identities and aspirations. Yet, it also underscores the challenges of forging a cohesive national identity. The legacy of fragmentation, with its inherent tensions, continues to shape India's political landscape. The decline of the Mughal Empire was not a sudden collapse but a gradual erosion of central authority. As the emperors lost their grip on power, regional satraps, once loyal vassals, asserted their autonomy. These ambitious rulers, emboldened by the waning influence of the emperor, consolidated their power bases in their respective provinces. The once unified empire, bound by the authority of the emperor, began to resemble a patchwork of independent or semi-independent states. This fragmentation, mirrored in contemporary Indian politics, manifests in the rise of regional parties and leaders. These actors, deeply rooted in their respective states, often prioritize regional interests over national concerns. Their influence in national politics stems from their ability to sway electoral outcomes, making them crucial allies or formidable opponents for national parties. This rise of regional power centers, while reflecting the vibrancy of India's democracy, also presents significant challenges. The negotiation of power between the central government and regional forces often leads to protracted political stalemates. Policy decisions, instead of being driven by national priorities, often become bargaining chips in a complex game of political maneuvering. The later Mughals, their authority diminished, found themselves increasingly reliant on powerful regional players. These kingmakers, whether ambitious governors or influential nobles, held the key to maintaining a semblance of order. Their support, often secured through concessions and alliances, became essential for the survival of the emperor himself. The balance of power, once firmly in the hands of the emperor, had shifted dramatically. In modern India, this dynamic finds resonance in the role played by regional parties in national politics. No single party, since the decline of the Congress Party's dominance, has been able to secure a majority on its own strength. This has led to the rise of coalition governments, often fragile alliances of parties with diverse ideologies and agendas, united by the pursuit of power. Regional parties, by virtue of their influence in their respective states, hold significant sway in the formation and stability of these coalition governments. Their demands, often centered around regional issues and aspirations, become non-negotiable for national parties seeking to form the government. This dependence on regional players grants them disproportionate influence in shaping national policies and priorities. The fragmentation of the Mughal Empire led to a constant state of flux in the political landscape. Alliances, forged and broken with alarming regularity, reflected the shifting sands of power. Regional players, driven by ambition and self-preservation, constantly maneuvered to expand their influence. This resulted in a period of chronic instability, marked by frequent conflicts and power struggles. Contemporary Indian politics, though functioning within a democratic framework, exhibits a similar fluidity. The rise and fall of coalition governments, often triggered by the shifting allegiances of regional parties, has become a recurring theme. Political maneuvering, characterized by horse trading and backroom deals, often overshadows substantive policy debates. This constant churn in the political landscape has significant implications for governance. Long-term planning and policy continuity become casualties in this environment of political uncertainty. The focus shifts from addressing critical national challenges to navigating the complexities of maintaining power in a fragmented polity. Section 5. Governance in the shadow of fragmentation. The fractured political landscape of the later Mughal era had a profound impact on governance. The emperor, his authority weakened, found it increasingly difficult to enforce his writ across the vast empire. Regional satraps, their power bolstered by their autonomy, often disregarded imperial decrees that conflicted with their interests. This led to a breakdown in governance, marked by corruption, inefficiency, and a lack of accountability. In modern India, while the challenges are different, the specter of fragmented power casts a long shadow on governance. The need to appease coalition partners, often with divergent priorities, can lead to policy paralysis or the adoption of populist measures that prioritize short-term political gains over long-term national interests. The devolution of power to states, while intended to empower local governance, can also exacerbate regional disparities. States with stronger leadership and better governance structures surge ahead, while others lag behind. This uneven development, a direct consequence of fragmented power dynamics, poses a significant challenge to equitable growth and national integration. Section 6. A house divided, public welfare at stake. The fragmentation of the Mughal Empire had a devastating impact on the lives of ordinary people. The constant power struggles and conflicts disrupted trade, agriculture, and everyday life. The weakened central authority was ill-equipped to provide basic services or protect its citizens from external threats or internal strife. The suffering of the masses, caught in the crossfire of elite power games, became a defining feature of this era. In contemporary India, while the situation is not as dire, the fragmentation of political power has tangible consequences for public welfare. Policy decisions, often driven by political expediency rather than the needs of the people, can have detrimental effects on education, healthcare, and poverty alleviation programs. The lack of continuity in governance, a direct result of political instability, hampers the effective implementation and long-term impact of welfare schemes. Furthermore, the emphasis on regional identities and aspirations, while understandable in a diverse nation, can sometimes come at the cost of national unity and solidarity. Divisive politics, often employed by parties seeking to consolidate their regional bases, can exacerbate social tensions and undermine the fabric of a cohesive society. The later Mughal era, marked by a constant tussle for power, existed in a state of unstable equilibrium. Regional players, while powerful, were often wary of each other, constantly seeking to check each other's ambitions. The emperor, though a diminished figure, still retained a symbolic authority that prevented any one faction from completely dominating the others. This fragile balance, sustained by a complex web of alliances and rivalries, prevented the empire from completely disintegrating, but also ensured perpetual instability. Modern India, in its own way, navigates a similar tightrope walk. The rise of regional parties, while challenging the dominance of national parties, has also created a more complex and unpredictable political landscape. The need to forge alliances and maintain a balance of power has led to a system of checks and balances, albeit one that is often messy and unpredictable. This unstable equilibrium, while presenting challenges for governance, also reflects the dynamism of Indian democracy. It ensures that no single entity, whether a national party or a regional powerhouse, can exert absolute control. The constant negotiation and renegotiation of power, while seemingly chaotic, also reflect a vibrant and evolving democracy. The decline of the Mughal Empire offers valuable lessons for contemporary India. The Mughals' inability to adapt to the changing realities of their time, their failure to accommodate the aspirations of their diverse subjects, and their preoccupation with courtly intrigues over good governance all contributed to their downfall. These historical missteps serve as cautionary tales for modern India as it grapples with its own challenges of fragmentation and governance. The most important lesson, perhaps, is the need for a delicate balancing act. India's strength lies in its diversity, but this diversity also presents unique challenges. Accommodating regional aspirations while maintaining national unity, promoting inclusive growth while addressing regional disparities, and ensuring effective governance in a fragmented polity are all challenges that require a nuanced and pragmatic approach. The legacy of the Mughals is not merely one of decline and decay, but also of cultural syncretism, architectural grandeur, and administrative innovations. Modern India, while learning from the mistakes of the past, can also draw inspiration from the achievements of its predecessors. The challenges posed by political fragmentation are not insurmountable. India, despite its tumultuous history, has shown remarkable resilience and adaptability. The key to navigating this complex landscape lies in recognizing the interplay of historical forces, contemporary realities, and future aspirations. It requires a collective effort from national and regional leaders, policymakers, and citizens alike. Strengthening democratic institutions, promoting dialogue and consensus building, fostering a sense of shared national identity, and prioritizing good governance are all crucial steps in this journey. Empowering local governments, while ensuring accountability and coordination, can help address regional aspirations effectively. Investing in education, healthcare, and social upliftment programs can bridge the gap between aspirations and opportunities, fostering a more equitable and just society. The path ahead will undoubtedly be fraught with challenges. But by learning from the past, adapting to the present, and envisioning a shared future, India can navigate the labyrinth of fragmented power and emerge as a stronger, more united and prosperous nation. The echoes of the past, though distant, continue to resonate in the corridors of power in modern India. The legacy of the later Mughals, with its inherent tensions between centralized authority and regional aspirations, serves as a reminder of the challenges and opportunities that fragmentation presents. The choices made today will determine whether these echoes fade into obscurity or continue to shape India's destiny. The future of India's political landscape hinges on its ability to forge a path that balances the imperatives of unity and diversity. It requires a recognition that true strength lies not in suppressing regional identities, but in harnessing their potential for the greater good. It demands a commitment to dialogue, compromise, and a shared vision for the future. As India charts its course in the 21st century, the whispers of the past serve as both a cautionary tale and a source of inspiration. The journey ahead will be defined by how effectively the nation can reconcile its rich and complex legacy with its aspirations for a more just, equitable, and prosperous future. The echoes of the past, if heeded wisely, can guide India towards a future where the mistakes of history are not repeated and the promise of a united and vibrant democracy is fully realized.